Hello. So, good morning, students, and welcome to the online lecture for the engineering graphics. We have started the unit number one, and we have discussed in the last lecture the regarding the drawing instruments. Okay. Then we have discussed about this sheet layout. So I have told you that in sheet layout, when we purchase the sheet, so it comes in the untrimmed size. Okay, so the outer border of this sheet is the untrimmed sheet. Okay, so that is the size is of 450 by 625, because this is the recommended sheet for our for first year engineering A2 size. Okay, but now since this it is not possible to handle this bigger sheet, so we are going for what A3 size, the paper A3 size sheet. Okay, so that is you can we can handle easily this one. Okay, or you can use also the A4 size the paper also for the construction. Okay, so but for term work and practical, go for A3 size this sketchbook. Okay, otherwise you can use A4 size also sketchbook also. Okay, okay, but we'll see. Suppose we will go for the standard. Suppose A2 size sheet is there. When we purchase the sheet, it comes in the size of 450 by 625. Okay, then inside that we have the trim size. So this border. Okay, this border is for trim size. That means that is the actual size of our sheet, 420 by 594. Okay, so the gap between the trim size and untrim size, that is called as what, the margin. Okay, so this you have to remember, because they may ask this in the MCQ questions. So the gap between the trim size and untrim size, it is called as the margin. Okay, after that, now once we get the trim size, that is the actual size of the sheet, so then inside that we have to take 20 from left hand side and 10 from the other side. So this is 10 this is 10 and this is 10 So from three sides, so here, then here and here, this is 10 and from this side here, okay, from left hand side, so you have to take here 20 Okay, now once that is drawn, so that is our drawing area. So this becomes our drawing area here. Okay, so we can draw anything here now. At the bottom, we have to draw the title block. The dimensions of the title blocks are 185 by 65. Okay, so this is our drawing area. Now we have here folding marks, because when we complete our construction, so we have to fold it, the sheet. So we have to fold it from the folding area. So folding marks are there for folding the drawing sheets. Now what is this, the divisions here? Okay, what these divisions are here, because suppose we have drawn something here, I have drawn here one square. Okay, but now I have to modify this square here. Okay, some bigger size square is there. So what modification I have made in the square, so that I can mark from this division. Okay, so I will draw here one rectangle, and I will show that I have modified the part or the sketch from here. So for that, these divisions are there. So we can take something like divisions like this. So here, so the divisions come from here. So this is the modification. So initial circle is this one, and now the circle is this one. Okay, so these divisions are made for showing the changes in the drawing, that means initial drawing. Okay, so initially we have sent the sheet, then after that we have modified the sketch. So for modification, to show the modification, we have to show this. We can show this the modification by drawing the block. Okay, so for that the blocks are made. Okay, so this is the description for your sheet layout. Now we have the title block. The title block, it is of the 185 by 65 dimension. Now you can change anything inside this one. So this is one of the layout that is shown, but you can add the accordingly. Okay, that is the name of here firm is there, so we can add here name of the institute. Okay, so then title, scale. Now this is the symbol for first year first angle projection. Okay, so we can make here name of the students, then class roll number, then signed by, checked by. Okay, then drawing number. Okay, so we can check accordingly. So that is there when you purchase the sheet. So it is already the title block. It is printed on the printed on your drawing sheet. Again, this all these things are also printed. That is already there on the drawing sheet. So when we purchase the drawing sheet, so this is already there. When we have to draw this one, when you will get only the blank sheet. Suppose if you will get all the, that means total blank sheet, then you have to construct all these things. But when we nowadays when we purchase the sheet, so everything is there. It is printed on the drawing sheet. Okay. After that, in the last lecture, we have discussed about the drawing scale, and when I watched the video, so this topic is not covered in the video lecture. So I am taking this one. So drawing scale, with that there are three types of drawing scale. One is called as the reduction scale, another one is called as the enlargement scale, and the last one is called as the full scale. Now, what is the reduction scale? Okay. Now, reduction scale means, now suppose this is now the height of the building. Okay, suppose if we take this is height of the building as a 10. Okay, but now this, we know that this Burj Khalifa is the highest, the tallest building in the world. Now, when we have to draw it on our drawing sheet, we can't draw it with the actual dimension because the dimensions are very huge. So what we are doing, suppose let us take the height of this Burj Khalifa is 10, and I want to make it half on my drawing. So I will take only 5. That means if the height of this Burj Khalifa is 10, so on drawing I will take this as a 5 only. So what I have taken, so I have taken 5 on my drawing, but what is the actual height of this Burj Khalifa? It is 10. So what is my scale is there? So my scale is 1 is to 2. So what is this 1 is to 2? So 1 denotes the dimensions on the drawing, while this 2 denotes the actual dimensions or the actual the dimensions of the object. Okay. So what is the actual dimension? It is 10, but I have taken how much? I have taken the 5. So my scale become 5, 1 is to 2. Okay. So this 1, so left hand side number value, it denotes denotes the dimensions on the drawing. This is the dimensions on your drawing. You have taken this is on the drawing. And what is this? The right hand side dimensions. So this is the actual dimensions. These are actual. So you will see here, if the dimension is 10, it may be mm, centimeter, okay, meter, kilometer, anything. So if the dimension is 10 mm, I have taken 1 mm. Okay. If the dimension is 2 mm, actual dimension is 2, I have taken 1. If the actual dimension is 5 mm, I have taken 1. So for 5, I have taken 1. That what I have done, I have reduced the scale. Okay, see, Burj Khalifa is this one, but on drawing, I have drawn this much only. So what I have done, I have reduced it. Okay, I have reduced it. That's why this is called as what? Reduction scale. Okay, now what is this enlargement scale now? Now you see here, this is our dimensions on drawing, and this is what the actual dimensions. Now for 1 mm or centimeter or meter, I have taken 10. So we will always talk about mm. All the dimensions are mm only or Indian drawing. So hereafter we will take dimensions in mm only. So for 1 mm distance on the drawing, I have taken 10 mm. Okay, 1 mm साठी आपण किती घेतला आपल्या ड्रॉइंग वर 10 mm. Okay, 1 mm साठी 20 mm. For 1 mm we have taken 50 mm. So these are called as what? Enlargement scale. So you see here, see, this is the actual TV set. Okay, this is the actual TV set. But while drawing on the drawing sheet, we have drawn this much. So what we have done, we have enlarged the scale. We have enlarged the scale. Okay, तर ही किती झाली? ही आपली the initial TV आहे, dimensions of the TV. So this is less, and we have taken it bigger. So this is suppose 1, and for 1 we have taken 10. So this is 1 mm. We have taken here 10 mm. So this is what? This is the enlargement scale. And what is meant by full scale? So if this dimension is 10 and this dimension is 5, so on drawing also we have taken 5 and 10. That means we have not changed anything as that of the reduction scale and enlargement scale. So if it is if on the drawing it is 5, we have taken 5, and if the height is 10, we have taken height as 10. So that means we have taken same to same. That means 1 is to 1. Okay, so that means if 5 is there, so we have taken 5 on the drawing. So this is 1 is to 1 scale. So these are the 3 types of the scale. So that type of that scale you have to mention here. Okay, so that scale may be the 1 is to 1 scale, full scale, or it may be reduction scale or the enlargement scale. Okay, so that is where. So whenever you read the drawing, whenever you read any drawing, always check the scale. Okay, so now you will remember. So if 1 is to 2 is there, if 2 is to 1 is there, and if 1 is to 1 is there. So what is the scale? So this is the dimensions on the drawing. This is actual dimensions. Okay, so actual dimension. So actual dimension we have reduced it. So this is reduction scale. This is the dimensions on the drawing. Okay, this is the actual dimension. So for 1 we have taken 2. So this is our enlargement scale. So this is enlargement. This is reduction. Now for drawing, this is 1. on drawing also we have taken 1, actual dimension it is also 1, so this is the full scale. Okay, so this is the full scale. Okay, so now you remember, always remember the first value is the dimensions on the drawing, and the second value is the actual dimensions. These are actual dimensions, and these are we have taken on the drawing sheet. Okay, so these are the drawing scale. Okay, now after that we have discussed about the types of the lines. So this is the center line. Whenever the circles are there, semicircles are there, we have to draw the center line. Center line is drawn something like this. Okay, so dash, then dot, dash and dot, something like this here drawn. If we made the ends dark, so then it becomes a cutting plane line. So cutting plane lines are used whenever we have to cut the object. The direction of arrow shows the direction of viewing of the observer. So observer is here because the arrows are downward. So the position of the observer or that person who is seeing this object after cutting. ओके, याला कट केल्यानंतर तो कुठून बघायचा आपल्याला, arrow वरून दाखवलेले आहे, so we have to see it from the top. Okay, so this is there. Now hidden lines are used when something is not visible in the drawing. ओके, सो मी तुम्हाला एक एक्झाम्पल दिलं होतं की सिलेंडर घेतला होता आपण आणि सिलेंडर मध्ये एक सर्क्युलर होल आहे. तर हा सर्क्युलर होल कुठून दिसत आहे, हे वरून दिसत आहे आणि फ्रंट साइडला दिसत नाही आहे, पण ते आहे आतमध्ये. सो इन फ्रंट व्ह्यू वी हॅव टू शो दी डॉटेड लाईन. ओके, एका व्ह्यू मध्ये ते दिसत आहे, वरून बघताना ते दिसत आहे, पण फ्रंट साइडला दिसत नाही आहे, पण ते आहे ऑलरेडी. सो we call that as a hidden part, and the hidden part, or that hidden part it is denoted by means of the dotted line. So these are the dash line. Then we have the extension lines. Whenever you have to show the dimensions, we have to extend the line. So these are extension lines, and then in that extension lines you have to put the dimension line. Okay, dimensions are there, so we'll see what is the dimension today. Here this is the 90 we have put. Okay, then we have section line. After cutting any object we will get section. Okay, apple la cut केल्यानंतर what we'll get, so this upper part get removed and we'll get only this much part. Okay, this much part, so this part. So here whatever the part which is remained after cutting, so that is called as the section. Okay, आणि तो कसा दाखवतात, using the section line. The section lines are inclined at 45 degree. This is very important. This is your MCQ questions. So section lines are inclined at 45 degree and the distance between them is 2 to 3 mm. Okay, 2 to 3 mm. या दोघांमधला डिस्टन्स किती राहील, 2 to 3 mm. So section lines are always inclined at 45 degree and the distance between them is 2 to 3 mm. Okay, now we have shown the dimensions of the circle. Now we have to generally we don't show the dimensions inside the inside this sketch or drawing. So we'll take it outward. So while taking it outward, we have to use another line. So that is called as the leader line. So take it outward, make it straight, horizontal, and then show the dimension. Diameter is shown by means of the symbol phi. So phi is used for showing the diameter. Okay, don't write down DIA, diameter. Whenever you are showing the diameter, it is shown by the symbol phi. And whenever you have to show the radius, it is denoted by the R10. R10 means what? Radius 10. But whenever you have to show the diameter, so this is phi 20. Okay, if radius is 10, so diameter is 20. Okay, then after that we have shown the locus. Locus means what? If this is the point P and if it is rotating, this object is rotating from position 1 to 2, then we'll get the different location of this point. If we join all these points, whenever it comes to the location 2, so that is called as the locus line. Okay, short break lines are used for shorter distance. If you have to show the shorter distance by means of this line, so that is the short break line. Okay, so suppose 1 kilometer road, so that is shown by means of only 1 centimeter. Okay, so for that we use the short break line. If 100-kilometer road is there and then we have to show it by suppose 1 centimeter or 10 centimeter, then it is long break line. Longer distance, so we have to show it by long break line, and for shorter distance you have to show it by short break line. Okay, so these are the different types of the lines. We have to use these lines while construction. Okay, so this is the very important topic. Okay, in MCQ question they may ask you, they may show you the line and they may ask you the what is the type of the line. Okay, so that you have to remember. Okay, now let us see the dimensioning methods. Okay, what is dimensioning? There are two types of dimensioning method. One is called the align system and another one is called the unidirectional system. Okay, now see what is the difference between this align system and the unidirectional system. Now in align system, so you see here, now this is our drawing. and we have shown horizontal dimension. So horizontal dimension, whenever I have told you, whenever we have to show the dimensions, we have to take the, first of all, we have to take which line? This line is what? Extension line. And in between these extension lines, we have to put what? The dimension line. So this horizontal, this line is what? This is the dimension line. Now, when we put the dimension, so it should be above. So this is our dimension line, suppose. Okay. So whenever you have to put the dimension, so it is put in the middle, above the line. Okay. So you have to put it in the center, above the line. So like this. Okay. Here. So here also see this is 20. We have shown this one. This is as a 20 here, middle. Now here it is not possible to this is smaller line, so we have taken it from the from outside. So this type of arrows. Okay, so 10. So this is for the horizontal diagram. Now for drawing the for showing the dimension of the circle, we have extended it. We have this line is called as what? This is called as leader line. This is called as the leader line. So pi 16. Diameter of the circle is what? 16. Radius 8. This radius is 8 here. Okay. Diameter is 16. So pi 16 means it is diameter 16. Okay. Now here it is very important to note about the vertical dimensions. Now, if you see here vertical dimension, so see here, this is the extension line, and in between this we have drawn the dimension line. But we have not shown the dimensions. So dimensions we have not put here like this 60. But we have shown the we have that means shown the dimensions in the middle, and that is readable from the right hand side. So from this side, okay. So you have to read it like this side. Okay, you have to read this dimension like this in this direction from right hand side. Okay, so this is, see, this is 28 also, this is 60, 30. See, it is how it is placed. Now this is the only difference between the aligned system and the unidirectional system. In unidirectional system, unidirectional dimension system, these dimensions are placed in the vertical dimensions are placed here. That is, we can read it from the bottom. Okay, त्याला आपण असं read करू शकतो directly. But in case of the aligned system, the dimensions are put like this. Okay, that means these are placed on the dimension line in the middle and readable from the right hand side. Okay, readable from the right hand side. So see, observe this 30, 28, 16, and read it, see here, this is 20, this is 30, 28, 16. So that is the only difference between the unidirectional system and the aligned system. Now for our engineering graphics, we are following the aligned system. We are following the aligned system. We are not following the unidirectional system. So what is the difference? So there is the difference between only in the vertical dimension. See, there is only the difference between the horizontal dimension also there is a difference. Here we have placed the dimensions at the center above the line, and here it is breaking the line and placed at the center. So this is in the center. So that is also the difference between the two. Okay, so let us first see the difference between the horizontal dimensions. So here, if this is aligned system, so dimensions are put above the line in the center. Now, if this is a unidirectional system, so this is placed in the middle. So this is 50. So this is unidirectional. This is aligned. For vertical dimension, if aligned system is there, so then you have to show this one. Suppose this is 60 here, like this. And if this is unidirectional system, then the 60 is placed here in the center, like this. So this is unidirectional. This is aligned. This is aligned. This is unidirectional. Okay. So see the difference between these two. This is 20 is placed above the line at the center. This is inserted in the middle of the line. Okay. So we are not following this unidirectional system. We are following this system. You have to be very careful while giving the dimension. Whenever you want to give the dimensions, take the extension lines. Okay. Place the dimension lines in the middle, and always follow the unidirectional system. The aligned system. So this is 50 here. Vertical dimension should be readable from the right hand side. Okay, should be readable from right hand side, and the horizontal dimension placed at the center above the line, at the center above the line, at the center above the line, like this. Okay, so this is the two types of dimensioning. One is called as aligned system, and another one is called as the unidirectional system. So again, these are the MCQs for your examination, okay, or for unit test. So this is we in our engineering drawing we are following the aligned system. Okay. Now these are some of the rules for the dimensioning. So we are not going through this one. Okay. So these are some of the examples. Okay. So just go through this one. Not required like this. Now we will go for the some of the constructions now. Okay, we'll go for some of the construction. So let me show you this one. The okay. Now some of the drawing constructions we will see. The simple one. Okay. Now let us see this one. Uh, okay. So first of all, let us discuss about the scale. I hope you know this one. So again we will repeat these things. See, from here it is, this is the 15 centimeter scale. Okay, now this is 1 centimeter and we have 10 divisions here. Okay, so now each division is what? This is 1 mm, 1 mm, 2 mm. Here this is 5 mm. Okay, this is what we have. This is the 5 mm. Okay, so this is 0. Then this is what? This is 1 centimeter, and this is 1 centimeter contains what? The 10 divisions. So each division is of 1 mm. Okay, each division is of 1 mm. Okay, so here these are the, will generally count this in terms of the mm. Okay, so 2 centimeter means it is 20 mm. Okay, so here it is 2 centimeter here. Okay, this is 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter means 1 centimeter means how much divisions are there here? There are 10 divisions, so this is 10 mm. Each division is of 1 mm. Each division here, this is 1 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm, 5 mm, and 10 mm. Okay, so 1 centimeter means it is 10 mm. 12 centimeter. Okay, so this is 12 centimeter means how much? Just multiplied by 10. So this is 120 mm. This is 120 mm. Okay, so like this. So here 1 centimeter means it is 10 mm. So all the small divisions are there. These are the mm. Okay, so you can count as one. And so 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. So 20 mm. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this is regarding what the scale. Okay, now let us see. Now we'll see how to divide the line. Okay, the first construction is how to divide the line. So I will take here 8, so 8 centimeter, or it is 80 mm. Okay, so just multiply it by the 10. So this is what? This is 8 centimeter or 8 mm. Now here it is very easy. That means suppose if you have to divide this 8 centimeter line, so you can take the midpoint of this one. So that is, this is 4. So that becomes easy one. Okay, but suppose we don't that means suppose we will take, suppose here 85 mm. We'll take here 85 mm line. So or 37.5 mm line, or any line. We don't know the dimensions, and we have to divide it into two parts. So how to divide this into these two parts? So we have to use the protractor. Okay, you have to use the protractor. Now when you use so when you use the protractor, now put it on one side. Okay, so on left hand side, and now that means approximately take the distance more than the center. So we know that the center will come here. So take some distance more than the center of this one. We don't know the center, but approximately we know that it will come somewhere here. So take some distance more than the center. Okay, now what you have to do now? So we have to mark here the arc. So we'll mark here one arc on one side. Okay, now mark the arc on the another side. So we have to mark it here also. So like this. Okay, similarly take similar distance. Okay, take similar distance and mark the arc on this side, and similarly mark the arc on the another side. Okay, so here also on this side. So here also. Okay, so what we have done, we have taken some distance in the compass. From left hand side we have marked one arc, on one arc above the line and below the line. From right hand side we have marked the arc on the from above the line and below the line. So we'll got some intersection here. Now we have to use our scale. Okay, now you have to use the roller scale. Now here the roller scale is, so the roller scale is not there, but use the roller scale. Now how to put this scale here? Now when you put the scale, see, you take any divisions of the line and make it parallel with the line. Okay, see, suppose I am taking this division. So you make it parallel with the line. If it is parallel with the line, then we'll always get the vertical lines here. We'll always get the vertical line. Okay, so here then we have to draw here one line. Okay, so okay, So actually it is not passing through, it will pass through this point here. So, okay, so that is just because of some air. Okay, so when you when you draw that one, okay, so otherwise let me draw this one again. Okay, like this. Okay, now when we have to take, so this is what, this is the half division and this is the half divisions. Okay, so this is the process for dividing the line. Okay, so this is the procedure for dividing the line. Similarly, so what we have done, we have taken the protector and we have taken some distance, we have marked 2 hours above. Then from this side we have marked the 2 hours, we got the intersection and we have drawn the line. So then this is the total, this is the division of the line. Okay, now let us take, now we will do, we will now divide the angle. Now how to divide the angle? Okay, so let us draw here some line here. So okay, so I have taken one, the horizontal line. Okay, then let us draw, let us take some angle here. So the, let us take some angle. So I am taking the angle of suppose 60 degree. Okay, so here 60. So we have to count from this zero. Okay, inside zero. Okay, because here it is 180. So you have to count from zero from here. And see, I have taken this point, base point, this middle point here on the left hand corner. Okay, so when you have to measure the angle, so we have to take this protector. That means the line passing through this 90 degrees. So here, okay, on the line on the left hand side corner, and then you have to measure from this zero, 0, 10, 20, 40, 50, and 60. I have marked here 60. Okay, so this is there 60. So this is our 60 angle. Now you have to use our scale. Okay, so handling this scale is somewhat difficult. Okay, but you have to use roller scale. You can easily draw it. Okay, so some error will be definitely there because, okay, so I have drawn this line. Okay, now this is there. Now this is our angle 60 degree. Okay, see here. So this is our 60-degree angle. Now I want to divide this angle. Okay, I want to divide this angle, 60-degree angle, into two, 30-degree and a 30-degree. So what you do, you have to again use your protector. Okay, you have to use again your protector. Now put the protector here. Okay, now take some distance in your compass. Okay, so any distance. Okay, you take any distance in your compass. Okay, now put the protector in at this point. So at this point, and now what you have to do now, you have to cut these two lines. Okay, you have to cut these two lines here. So cut this line here, one, and then cut the another line here. So this line. Okay, so cut this line. Okay, so what we have done, we are using the protector, we have cut the two line. Now keep the same distance in compass. Now put it on the intersection, first intersection. Put the same distance. Okay, now again make the arc. Okay, again make the arc here. So this is the first arc. Now put the protector on the another intersection, and then again make the second arc. Okay, so what we have done, we have put the protector here, we have marked the 2 hours. This is 1 and 2. Then we have put the protector on the another, on these two intersection, and we have marked the another 2 hours. Okay, now take your scale here. Okay, and then draw the line passing through this intersection. Okay, so draw the line passing through this intersection. Okay, so okay, somewhat there, like this. Okay, now we'll measure the angle. So now measure this angle. So you see this one. So like this. Okay, so like this. So you see here, the divisions will be from the, this is division line is what, it is 30 degree. That means we have divided the 60-degree angles into 30 and 30. Okay, so the angle get divided into the 30. So this angle is, this angle is 30 degree, and this angle is 30 degree. Okay, so this is the division of your angle. Okay, for line, what we have done, we have taken, this is our the line. So from this intersection we have marked one arc. From this intersection we have marked on the arc below and above the line. Then from using the compass, from this point we have marked another arc. we got the intersection, we have drawn the line passing through that, we have divided the line. Okay, so this is the division of the line, bisecting the, sorry, this is not division, this is the bisecting the line. So we have to say that for angle, we have to use, again, we have to take some distance in compass, one arc, second arc, then from here another arc, from here another arc, will get the intersection. Okay, so this is the division, this is the this is what the division of the angle and the division of the angle and the line. Okay, now the most important part of the that means the construction is what, suppose unit number 3, okay, we will see it again also there. Suppose you got some line here. Okay, suppose this is the line I'm taking here. Suppose this is the 10 centimeter or 100 mm. Okay, this is a 10 centimeter on the 100 mm. Okay, now you can easily divide this in. Suppose if I ask you to divide this 10 centimeter line into 10 divisions, so what you will take, you will take this is into 1 centimeter each division. So 1 centimeter, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 10. You can easily divide it into 10 divisions. Now suppose if I ask you to divide it into 6 divisions. Okay, if I want you to divide it into 6 divisions, so what you have to do now, you have to divide it by 10 by 6 and then you will get something. But that is by construction, we don't want it, that is by the calculation, we don't it by want it by calculation, but we want it by the construction. Okay, we want it by construction. So how to divide this line by construction? Into how much divisions we want? We want 6 divisions. Okay, we want 6 divisions of this one. Okay, now how to divide this 10 centimeter line into 6 divisions? Okay, now by construction. So what you have to do now? So whenever any line is given to you, okay, and you want to divide the you want to find you want to divide that line. So what you do? You draw one line here. You draw one inclined line to that particular given line. Okay, this angle may be approximately 30, 35 approximately. Okay, approximately. You don't have to measure this angle by using the protractor. Just put your roller scale here and then draw one inclined line to our initial line. Okay, now angle is approximately 30 to 35 degree. Okay, so the first step is what? Draw one inclined line to the initial line. So that we have to divide. So we have to divide this line. Okay, so we have drawn one inclined line. Now again we have to use what we have to use the compass. The compass is very important. Okay, the compass is very important. Now in compass you take one small small distance. Just we don't have to measure it. Just take it. That means approximately take some distance in your compass. Okay, so we will take small distance in our compass. Okay, now take small distance in compass approximately. Okay, and then mark the arcs here. How many divisions we want? We want 6 divisions. So this is 1. Okay, then this is 2. Okay, then this is 3. Okay, then this is 4. Okay, then here it is this is 5. Okay, and then this is 6. I want here 6 divisions. So if you want 7, you go again forward. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now any divisions you can make. So we have decided to divide this line into 6 divisions. So from here I have marked here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 divisions. Okay, so let us give this name also here. If you want here, suppose 10. Okay, so this is 1. This is 1 here. This is 2. Then this is 3, 4. Okay, this is 4. This is 5 and this is 6. Okay, this is 6. So this is marking I have made used by the protractor by taking some distance in the compass. Okay, we have taken some distance in the compass. Okay, now what you have to do now? Now after making these divisions, the divisions. So what you have to do now? The next step is what? You have to use your scale, roller scale. Okay, now you have to join the last division. Okay, you have to join your last divisions with the end of the line. Okay, you have to join your last divisions with the end of the line. Okay, so it is like this. So you have to join this last point here. Okay, so this is, you have to join this last division. That means this 6 here. You have to join with the last division. After that, you have to, this is your roller scale. Just imagine this is your roller scale. So then roll it. Okay, roll it. Now then from 5, okay, then from 5, you have to draw the parallel line. Then from 4, you have to roll it, roller scale. Okay. Then from 4, you have to draw the line, parallel line. Then from 3, you have to draw the parallel line here like this. Then from 2, you have to draw the parallel line. And then from 1, you have to draw the parallel line. Okay. So now what we'll get here? Okay. Now just see here, we have transfer this division 1. So that will come here. You transfer this here, it is 2, then it is 3, then this is 4, then this is 5, and this is 6. So see what we have done. We have divided that 10 centimeter line into 6 divisions. So this is 1 division, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. So the total line get divided into 6 divisions. Okay. So this is the procedure for dividing the line, division of the line. You can divide the line into any parts. So what you have to do, you have to just take the small distance in the compass and you have to mark that divisions on the inclined line. First of all, mark that divisions on this inclined line. If you want 7 division, 8 divisions, you can make forward here. Only thing is whatever the last division is there. Suppose you make here 10 divisions. So last divisions you have to join with the end of the line. And then parallel to this line, you have to draw the lines from the other divisions. So that you have to follow. Okay, whatever the lines which you got from joining the last divisions with the end of the line, parallel keeping parallel to that line, you have to draw the other lines. So you'll get, if you join like this, you will get here 10 divisions. Okay, so this is the method for joining the for the division of the line. Okay, so how you'll divide the line? Suppose if you have the line like this, draw one inclined line to that line. Take the compass. Suppose I want to divide this line into the 5 parts: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So the fifth divisions you have to join with the end of the line. Then keep your roller scale parallel to this. Draw the parallel lines like this. Okay. So you'll get here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your the line get divided into 5 divisions. Okay, so this is there. Okay, so like this you have to. Okay, so like this you will have to follow the thing. Okay, now so I hope these things are clear to you. Okay, so now we'll go for the next construction then. Okay. Okay, let us go for the next construction. So that is again interesting. Okay, so okay, now what we'll do, we will divide now we will divide the circle. We will divide now the circle. Okay, so let us take the radius of the circle. So radius of the circle, suppose 30 mm. So 3 centimeter distance or 30 mm. Okay, now let us make it. So let us draw the circle of this diameter. Okay, so let me make this dark somewhat. Okay, so this one like this. Okay, so what I have done, I have drawn the circle of the radius 3 centimeter. So diameter here 60, because this is 30, this is 30, so diameter is 60. Okay, now we have to divide this into, suppose we have to divide this circle into 12 divisions. First we will divide this into 12 divisions. Okay, so there are only two things. One we have to divide into 12 and another we divide into 8. So first we will see how to divide the circle into 12 divisions. Now draw the diameters of this one, this circle. This is the horizontal diameter. Now rotate the scale. Okay, and okay, and then draw the vertical diameter. Okay, so what we have done, we have drawn the circle, we have drawn the two diameters, vertical and the horizontal diameters. Okay, now again we have to go for the compass, because compass is very this compass is very important. Now here what you have to do, okay, now this is the radius is same. Okay, you have to take the radius distance in the compass. So this is having the same radius, I think. See, this is having the same radius. Okay, so you have to keep it somewhat back here on this end. Okay, so see, the compass is having the same radius. Okay, so this is 3 centimeters. So take 3 centimeter distance in the compass. Now keep it on the diametrical end, horizontal diametrical end. Okay, so keep it on a horizontal diametrical end. Okay, and then mark the divisions. Mark the divisions on both sides. Cut the circle on both sides. So you have to keep the compass on the horizontal. You have to keep one end of the compass, that is the needle end, here on left hand side, and then you cut the circle on both ends. So from here, sorry, I will take here smaller intersection only. So here one, and then on the another side. So here this is there. Okay, so see. So what I have done, so I have cut the circle on two sides. Okay, on both the sides. So from here, from this diametrical end. Okay. Now you put it on the another diametrical end. So we'll put it here then. Okay. Then we will cut the circles on both the end. So this is the intersection here, and on the top side also we have to make the intersection. So here also. So see what we have done. So we have put the compass here, and we have cut the circles on these two sides. Okay, so what we have done, we have put it first of all here, and then after it here, and we have cut the circles on both sides. Now we have used the ends of the horizontal diameter. Now use the end of the vertical diameter. Now put it here. So keep your this what the compass on the vertical diameter, and then again cut. Okay, so then again cut the circles on the both sides. So then this side also we have to cut the circle. So here also. Okay, so see, from vertical diametrical end I have cut the circles on the two sides. Okay, so now, okay, now put the compass on the bottom diametrical end. So keep it here on the bottom diametrical end. Okay, then again cut the circles on both sides. Okay, so here and the another side. So this side also. Okay. This side here. You have to cut it here also. Okay, so we have cut it this one. Okay, so we have cut what we have done. We have put the compass on the four diametrical ends, and we have marked we have cut the circles on both the sides. So we got some divisions here. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to use the scale now. Okay, you have to use the scale, and you have to join this intersection. Okay, so here if you join these things like this. Okay, so if you put your the roller scale, so you will get the exact line. You will get here exact line. So please forgive me for this one, because I'm new to this software. You join the lines. So from here. Okay, so this line. Okay, and from here to here. So let me again rotate this one. Okay, we'll join this one, this to this. Okay, this comes here, so we'll join this one, so like this. And only one thing is remaining now, one line is remaining. So from here, from here to here, this line is remaining. Okay, so I have to make here adjustment, but when you are using the scale, so you don't have to make any adjustment here. Okay, so you will directly get that lines here. So like this. Yes. Okay. now just see this one. So what we have done, we have joined now the intersection. And if you count now, if you count the divisions of your circle, so see here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4 here, this is 5 and 6, this is 7, 8, this is 9, this is 10, this is 11, and this one is 12. Okay, so your circle get divided into the, okay, so circle is divided into 12 divisions. So we have to divide the circles into 12 divisions. We and to this is A, B, C, D, E, this is F. Okay, this is G, H, So you letters. Okay, while giving the nomenclature, we have to use here the small letters. So A, B, C, D, something like this. Okay, so circle get divided into 12 parts. Okay, so how we have divided the circles into the 12 parts? So first we have drawn the circle, then we have drawn the two diameters, then we have used the compass, and from compass we have put it on the horizontal diametrical end, 2 points here, then we have put it here, arc on both sides, then we have put it on vertical diameters. So this is the 2 arcs, then from here this is the 2 arcs, and then we have joined all these points. Okay, so what we got? We got here the 12 divisions of the circle. Okay, so how to divide the circles into 12 parts? So it is very easy. Just keep your protractor on the 4 diametrical ends and cut the circle. Okay, just remember this one. Okay, now the next thing is we'll take the same radius of the circle. We will draw again the circle. Okay, now we'll draw the circle. We will draw the circle. So here, so again, this is the 3 centimeter radius, that is 30 mm radius, 60 mm diameter, 60 mm diameter. Okay. Now, how to divide this into? Now we have divided the circles into 12 parts. Now we'll divide the circle into 8 parts. Okay. So we'll go for now how to divide the circles into 8 parts. Now here again, last time also we have drawn the diameters. So we'll draw the diameter. We'll draw the diameter first. Okay, we'll draw the diameter first. So draw the diameters of the circle. So this is horizontal diameter. Okay, now rotate the scale and draw the vertical diameter. Okay, so last time also we have drawn the two diameters, vertical and horizontal diameters, and then we have used the protractor from here, protractor from this end, this end, this end, and this end. 4 ends we have used, and using the radius distance we have cut the circle. But here you don't have to use the protractor. You don't have to use the protractor here. Now what you'll do, you use here the sorry, you don't have to use the compass. Use the protractor. Now keep the protractor here. Okay, so on this point. So this point here, you have to keep this point here. Okay. So base point you have to keep on the center. Okay. Base point you have to keep it on. You have to keep it at the center. Okay. Now use the protractor. This is the shortcut method. So how to divide the circle into 8 parts? So draw the diameters, and what you do? We know that this angle is what, 90 degree. Okay. This 90 degree. So you take the angle 45 here, and you take the angle 45 here. So while taking on this side 45 degree angle, you have to take, this is 0, 0, 45. And while taking the angles on this one, you have to take the inner side, 0, 10, 40, 45. Okay. So only two angles you have to take, that is the 45 degree and the 45 degree angle. Okay. Now use the scale. Okay. Now use this scale and just join this 45 degree angle from the center. So this is your 45 degree angle. Okay. So this is your 45 degree angle here. Okay. Okay, so this is the 45 degree angle. So like this. Okay, and the another side. Okay. So here. Okay. Okay, so I think this is sufficient. Okay, like this. Okay, now see this one. Now what I have done, I have only divided this 90 degree angle into 45, 45. Okay, now count the number of divisions. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, and this is 8. Okay, so circle get divided into what? The 8 divisions. Okay, so this is a simple method for division of the circles into 8 divisions. So we can divide the circle into 12 divisions, or we can divide the circles into 8 divisions. So there are only two things are there. We have to divide that into 1 or 2 divisions. Okay, so that you have to remember. Okay, so that you have to remember here. Okay, so I hope your this construction is very important. That is the 12 divisions of circles into divisions of circle into 12 and the 8 parts. When you have to divide the circle into 12 divisions, you have to use protractor, and then from these 4 diametrical ends, you have to cut the circles on both ends. Okay, And when you have to divide the circles into 8 parts, just divide this 90-degree angle. Okay, just mark here 45 here, 45 here, and just draw two lines. If you draw only two lines, then the total circle get divided into the 8 parts. Okay, so this is the procedure for the division of the circles into 8 parts. Okay, now what we'll do now, we will take here we will see how to draw the hexagon. This is very important, how to draw the hexagon. We know that hexagon is having how much sides? It is having the 6 sides. Okay, so how to draw the hexagon? Now, suppose in the problem it is given the side of hexagon is equal to 30 mm. 30 mm is how much it is? 3 centimeter. Okay, dimensions will be always will be in the mm. Dimensions will always be in the mm. So side of the hexagon is how much? Okay, so now let's start the construct the scale first. Then side hexagon as so this is 30 mm, 30 mm. This is 3 centimeter. So this is the side of the hexagon. Okay, this is the side of the hexagon. Now, what you do? The next step is what? Now you take the protector. You take the compass and construct the circle using this side as a radius. Construct the circle using side as a radius. So what we have done? First of all, we have marked the side of the hexagon. We have marked the side. We have marked the side. We have marked the side of the hexagon. Okay, and then using that side as a radius, that is 30 mm, we have drawn the circle. Okay, then after that, what you have to do now? You extend this line as a diameter. We will extend this line as a diameter. So here I'm extending this as a diameter. Okay. So what we have done, we have taken first side and then taking this is 30. This is we have taken 30 mm, and then by taking this as a radius, we have drawn the circle. Okay. Then I have drawn the diameter. Okay, like this. Now you have to use the compass of the same radius. Okay, you have to use the compass of the same radius now. Okay, here you have to use the compass of same radius. Okay, here, and then you have to cut that means you have to cut the circles on two sides. So cut the circles on the top. So here one, then you have to cut the circles at the bottom. So uh, here you have to cut the circle. So here, okay, so from the horizontal diametrical ends. So from here I have cut the circles at the two ends. Now similarly, you have to cut the circles on the bottom on from the another diametrical end. So from here you have to cut the circles here, and then on the top also. So here again you have to cut the circle. Okay, so here you have to make only the four intersections. So these from these diametrical ends, these two intersections, and from this diametrical end, these are the two intersections. Okay, enough. Okay, we are not taking the vertical diameter in case of the hexagon. Okay, so this we have done. Now what you have to do now, the next thing what you have to do now, we have to join this intersection. So you have to use this scale now. Okay, now you have to join this intersection, something like this. So from here, okay, so like this. So here this one, then we have to join it here also, like this. Then okay, using the roller scale, you can join it easily since this is the software, so it is taking time. And now from here to here, like this. Then here, but okay, like this. And one thing is remaining. So this side. here, and then this one. So see, this is the red line means what? It is our final construction, and whatever the line which we are drawn initially, that is our initial construction. So initial construction, it is drawn with H and twice H pencil, while the final that is red line, that is hexagon. So it is drawn with the HB line. Okay, so that we have to follow. Okay, now see, the hexagon is there. So this is A, B, this is one side, C, D, E, and F. Okay, so like this, the hexagon is over. Okay, so today we will stop here, and the remaining construction we will see. Now there is pentagon. It is only remaining, so that pentagon we will see in the next lecture, and from next lecture we'll start with the third unit directly. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding this one, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll stop here. Thank you. Thank you very much.